It's nice for all of that not to matter.
It's also risky.
Is it? I mean, I think what's risky is living your life and never trying for anything, and never doing something brave, and never getting yourself scared. And
Are you scared?
in a good way.
Why this self-destructiveness? Do you know where it came from?
Well, I don't know, except that I didn't have a sense of purpose. I felt so off balance all the time. I remember one of the most upsetting times in my life was after I had maintained success, financial stability, and I was in love. And I thought, I have everything that they say you should have to be happy.
Are your ambitions changing at all?
My ambition has always been to be of use and to feel like I'm doing the right things with my life, like most people, I think, you know. I don't want to be more successful. I don't want more money. I don't want... I want my kids to be healthy, and I want to have a great family, and I want them to be great people. That's my ambition. And along the way, if I can be a part of things in life that I think are important, and subject matters that I think are important, or even be a part sometimes of the solution for these big issues that that concern me, and then that's wonderful.
Right now, if you had to decide that in 6 months you're going to either act in a film or direct a film, what would you do?
I'd prefer directing.
Yeah?
Yeah. I loved having the spotlight on somebody else, and I would much prefer it.
You ever meet someone who makes you question everything about what strength means? Someone who doesn't just survive, but transforms the struggle into purpose. Today, we're diving into Angelina Jolie's most powerful insights on strength and purpose. And trust me, what she says will change the way you face your toughest moments. Angelina Jolie, actor, activist, humanitarian. A few names hit as hard as Angelina Jolie. She's one of those rare people who can go viral at any point in the year because her presence transcends trends. But beyond the fame, she holds lessons about being strong, not because you have to, but because you choose to. Here are some quotes from her life, interviews, and speeches. Lessons that sharpen your mindset, light a fire in your purpose, and help you live life to the fullest.
You know, we're all self-destructive at a certain point in our lives, and we do things to ourselves to feel alive, or to, I don't know what it is, but it's a certain, we have some kind of imbalance and we're trying to break through it. I thought that I had some kind of strange release in that, but I grew out of it, you know, I grew up, and it's a dangerous thing.
I guess you go through a certain point of pain or loss, and you just, you either go down or you get back up.
Angelina once said that without pain, there is no resilience. She's faced loss, illness, and even public criticism on a global scale. But instead of breaking down, she used those moments as fuel. And here's the part most people forget. The moments that hurt the most are often the ones shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Pain is the weight room of the soul. Just like muscles grow when they're torn and rebuilt, resilience grows when life tests you and you refuse to quit. If you're struggling right now, Angelina's words remind you that the pain isn't pointless. It's the raw material for the stronger version of you that's being built in real time.
And I decided to make big choices and live even bolder and do things right away, because it was our life suddenly, and so I was inspired by him to travel the world all the time, because I want him to have this experience or that experience. Still have that, you know, I still don't understand criticisms from people. I don't understand when anybody criticizes anybody or judges anybody, you know, and if it's against me or anybody, it just makes me feel, I hate it when I see people being overly critical of other people, because I know that tends to close people up, and it makes me real sad for them and uncomfortable when I see that happening. I wish everybody could just try things and be free and do what they want to do, and be really free of the boundaries that society puts on us, or what's expected or what's approved or what's appropriate. And so yeah, I have so because of that, I make a point not to pay attention to it.
People assume, or they tell you, and a lot of people did tell me that when you win an Oscar, you're supposed to start taking yourself seriously and make these very important, serious choices. I want to do what I feel like doing, what I love, and I just didn't want to start changing and take myself seriously because some kind of award would be important and I should do that. I don't believe in that.
Angelina Jolie once reminded the world that courage isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward while fear is whispering in your ear. And let's be real. Fear is universal. You feel it before you speak up, before you chase that dream, before you stand against something unjust. Fear isn't a sign you're weak. It's proof that what you're doing actually matters. Jolie knows this firsthand. When she spoke out about violence, when she fought for refugees, when she shared her own preventive surgeries publicly, she wasn't immune to fear. But here's the difference. She acted anyway. And that choice, acting in spite of fear, is what sets leaders apart from bystanders. Courage is not waiting until you feel ready. That moment never comes. Courage is stepping into the unknown while your knees are shaking, because your purpose is louder than your fear.
We have to somehow find a way to become more alive. We're all gonna face the end one day. And so however long we have to remember to, like your mother, like really live as fully as we can and take this as a reminder to live more fully.
I never felt satisfied. I never felt calm. I still have that problem. I don't sit down well. But I think that's something that comes with finding responsibility, finding some use, finding some sense of purpose.
Now do you feel that you will have a long and fulfilling life?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Love one person, take care of them till you die. Raise kids, have a good life, be a good friend, and try to be completely who you are and figure out what you personally love and go after it with everything you've got, no matter how much it takes.
Angelina Jolie once admitted something brutally honest. A life where you don't live to your full potential is misery. That's not just celebrity talk. That's universal truth. Think about it. How many people are living inside cages they didn't build? Cages made of other people's expectations, family pressures, society's labels. You play the role, you smile for the camera, you nod at the office, but deep down, you know you're not living your script. Jolie says the only way she knows she's on the right path is by being true to herself. And that's the secret most people miss. Strength begins with authenticity. You can fake confidence, you can fake success, but you cannot fake fulfillment. And here's the kicker. If your path isn't yours, you're already halfway broken. Pretending drains more energy than pursuing the thing that scares you. Authenticity might cost you approval, but it gives you freedom. And freedom is strength. So here's your challenge. What part of your life feels borrowed? What mask are you wearing just to fit? Strength isn't about pushing harder. It's about peeling back everything false until what's left is you. That's where power lives.
It's the writing as well. I've spent my whole life with somebody else's words in my mouth.
Yeah.
When it comes to film, and now these are my words, and it's I can't blame anything on the director or the final edit. It's all me.
Do you like fast driving?
Yeah.
Really?
I like just about anything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that gets your heart going, I like.
And I read you have a thing with knives. Is that correct? Or is it just a rumor?
Well, I did when I was younger. I collect knives, and I still do. And I've thrown knives and play with butterfly knives. I mean, I think they're beautiful, and there's an art to them. I always felt a little strange or different, and I wasn't laughing very much in my life about anything, and kind of always would see people with kids or married or in love and thought, that's great. It's not my life, and I wish I could have that, but I'm never going to have that because I'm all over the place and I'm never going to be calm or stable or normal or safe.
Angelina Jolie flips the script on one of society's biggest lies, that being different is something to hide. She says, different is good. When someone tells you that you are different, smile and hold your head up and be proud. Let's be real. From the time we're kids, we're trained to blend in. Don't stand out, don't make waves, don't color outside the lines. But here's the truth. Every person who's ever changed the world was once labeled as different, and Jolie owns it. Her tattoos, her roles, her humanitarian work, none of it fit the cookie-cutter image Hollywood wanted. And yet, that very difference became her fingerprint. It's what set her apart. It's what gave her impact. So here's the insight. Difference isn't a weakness, it's your signature. When you shrink to fit in, you erase the very thing that makes you unforgettable. Ask yourself, what part of you have you been hiding because it feels too weird, too bold, or too much? That might just be the part the world needs the most. Because strength isn't found in sameness. Strength is found in the courage to stand tall in your difference and let it shine as proof you're not here to copy, you're here to create.
I went through heavy, darker times and I survived them. I didn't die young, so I'm very lucky. There are other artists and people that didn't survive certain things.
Talk about heavy, darker times. What are you referring to?
I was hoping you'd miss that. Nothing I want to go into a lot of detail about, but I think people can imagine that I did the most dangerous and I did the worst, and for many reasons I shouldn't be here.
I really don't read the things, and I just assume that people out there are smart enough to know that there's only half truth to it. And also, I've traveled enough and been around enough in the world to know that there is a small group of people that read gossip things, and there's a huge world of people that are interested in things that are actually important. So that tiny group of gossipy people that care about, who's sleeping with who in Hollywood, I'm not overly concerned about that corner of what they're thinking about.
As my mother asked, and I will do the best I can with this life to be of use. And to stand here today means that I did as she asked. And if she were alive, she'd be very proud. So thank you for that.
Angelina Jolie gets brutally real about something we all face: baggage. She says, it's hard to be clear about who you are when you're carrying around a bunch of baggage from the past. And she's right. How many of us are dragging years of regret, guilt, or old labels into every new chapter? We wonder why we feel stuck. But how can you sprint toward your future if you're chained to your past? Here's the insight. Strength isn't pretending baggage doesn't exist. Strength is knowing when to unpack it, when to learn from it, and when to finally put it down. Because clarity doesn't come from holding on. It comes from letting go. Jolie's life proves this. She's faced struggles in her childhood, relationships, even her health. But instead of replaying the past on a loop, she chose release. That's why she moves with so much clarity. She's not weighed down by yesterday.
But for cancer, of course, it's very personal to me. And I think for anybody watching, whether you've dealt with cancer or anything in your life where you've had this moment, you don't know if your life is now going to stop. And you feel like it's going to stop, and you feel like it's over. And in many films, they treat things like this, that becomes the film, right? It becomes about the end. It's quite a sad film. It's a hard film when you deal with these things. And a lot of people who have cancer have said, I feel like that's all people ask me about, right? When somebody goes through a serious illness.
But it's not the end.
It's not the end. And so that's why this was so important to me, that I think it helped me in reading it to remind myself and hopefully remind others that this is when you can feel most alive. This is when you realize you confront the fragility, and also you can fall in love with life again.
There's a fire that I like to see in people, and I like to encourage it. So I don't judge people, so I don't think they judge me. So I have this freedom of, I think we're all a little crazy. We all make fools of ourselves.
Angelina Jolie delivers one of her most powerful truths. We have a choice about how we take what happens to us in our life. We can be consumed by hate and darkness, or we can regain our humanity and learn something about ourselves. That's not just philosophy, that's survival. Because life will test you. It will break your heart, betray your trust, throw storms you never saw coming. And in those moments, you stand at a crossroads. bitterness or growth, hate or humanity, darkness or light. Jolie has walked through fire, public scandals, health battles, personal losses. She had every reason to turn cold, but instead she chose compassion. She chose humanity. She turned pain into advocacy, suffering into service, scars into strength. And that's the ultimate insight. Pain is inevitable, but bitterness is optional. You don't always control what happens to you, but you always control who you become because of it. So ask yourself, what's your choice going to be? Will you let pain harden you, or will you use it to carve out a stronger, wiser, more human version of yourself? Because the strongest people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who rise without losing their heart. Angelina's words remind us that strength and purpose aren't accidents. They're choices made over and over again. If her lessons hit you today, share this with someone who needs it. And remember, your story isn't over. It's just waiting for the strength only you can give it.